Thank you, Your Excellency. A member of each of the two families will now be given time to address the mourners gathered at this sacred shrine. Allow me, therefore, to first invite Andrew Nue, who is a brother to the late Deputy Commissioner General Siziva, to address the mourners.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, the President Ubaba Dr. Idim Nangagwa, lo Mama Dr. Mrs. Mnangagwa, all protocol observed. A writer, Alfred Lord Tennyson, writes, "It is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all," unquote. Your Excellency, as a family, we have lost a pillar of strength, a pillar of guidance and love. The hero lying here was a father, a brother, a friend, a leader, and a husband. It's not only us as family who have lost, we believe, but as a nation we have lost, as he was a soldier, a commissioner, and a war veteran. Your Excellency, Milton was very humble. In the family, he would listen to the smallest family member. We believe he was so, even in the army, even in the prisons, and even in the war veterans. Your Excellency, Milton was number 2 in a family of 8. He was the eldest brother in the family, hailing from Matopo district in Matabeleland South Province. Therefore, upon the death of our father in the early 2000s, he had to take on the responsibility of a father figure. We have therefore truly lost. We now hazard the way forward from here. Your Excellency, we must say we take solace in that you have seen it fit to bestow him this highest honor, national hero. We as a family sincerely thank you and all the relevant bodies which facilitated this honor to be bestowed. He leaves behind a wife, 2 sons, 2 daughters, and 5 grandchildren. Your Excellency, I must say, on behalf of the family, we appreciate so much the support and the assistance we got from Milton Siziba's peers, from the war, from the army, from prisons, from the war veterans, and we want in particular to thank Ubaba Uchinga Dube, who was with us throughout this journey, but not forgetting our resident minister, Umama Honorable Judith Ngube, as she worked tirelessly with the family. May the dear Lord grant us all the peace and love as we so desire as a nation. I'm tempted, Your Excellency, to do what we normally do back home. I cannot stand here as a Zimbabwean, black as I am, Ndebele as I am, to say to the head of state, thank you. But rather, I would want to say, Baba, siyabonga lo mama, lingadinwa la kusasa. Yikho esikwaziyo esintwini sakithi. Umlimi alibusise, lisikhokhela, likhokhela ilizwe, likhokhela abantu bakhe, aligcina landisela impilo. I thank you.
Your Excellency, allow me now to invite Rick Tomana, the Tomana family representative, to address us.
Soroi, Your Excellency, Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, and Amai Auxilia Mnangagwa, all protocols observed. To set off, may I take this moment to kindly relay our heartfelt gratitude towards the honor bestowed upon our father, brother, uncle, and most importantly, our friend. Your Excellency, sir, it was a great pleasure to say thank you for asserting Ambassador Johan Tomana, the late, with the hero status and also honoring the Tomana family. My father, our father, was and will always be the epitome of a man in my standing and life. He lived out the three principles that confirm a man: the priest of the family, the protector of the family, and most importantly, the provider for the family. Characterized by love in abundance, his life can't be summed up, but at the stage in which he had reached, he was a unifier, an honest man, a loving husband and father, a man of integrity, and in all, a patriot to the cause of the nation. Many a times, as a family, we would joke about the possibility of if it were that we were born in different countries, which country would you be born in? His answer and response was and will always be a Zimbabwean, for the main and particular reason that as a nation, we are blessed. His response made sense to me moment by moment as to why this nation was the nation that he has dedicated his life towards, as now we lay him among many great heroes of past. As a brother and a friend, he was ever reprimanding and teaching. It's funny to actually think in a different reality, he would have been an exceptional teacher. However, his mission was to serve the nation and in the journey to serve God, as all his decisions had to be administered with wisdom. Your Excellency, sir, your son was ever dedicated to your vision and cause, to the point of only taking his annual leave to come only to worship and have family time, but ever engaged in work. Many friends and colleagues sitting here and home can confirm and attest to the fact that in his years as ambassador, he had extended an invite for the purpose of expanding the territory of Zimbabwe in business. A strong believer of the friendship of the African nations, and most importantly, our brothers in arms. His words to one of the border control officers, I quote, "Our friendship as African nations should never be destroyed," unquote. And so we carry ourselves in that manner. to our mother, I can only express joy to the fact that the love you shared with our father is the benchmark of what a man who is in stability is willing to do. I say to our mother, he always loved you to a point that he became the example of a true gentleman and a benchmark to my sisters when they settle down. To my sisters, our father will always be the cheerleader in your hearts and in your journey of life, your first love and your ultimate beacon of strength. To his siblings and cousins, he will forever be the father that took charge and made life worthwhile. To his Vasukuru in your multitudes, he will forever be your buffer in times of storm. And to his grandson, I would have loved for you to pull his beard now and again to remind him of how much you loved him. To the nation, he will forever be your son and fighter. May his words see you through tough times. And finally, to the Church of Joan Marange, he will forever be the hero that did the work of the Lord Almighty. In summation, my father was a ferocious and avid supporter of the party, and I'm sure that is public knowledge. And most importantly, earnest and faithful man in the belief of the Lord Almighty. To close off, Your Excellency, sir, thank you once again for the highest order of recognition you have bestowed on the hero of the family, the hero of the nation, and the hero of the Lord. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Head of State and Government and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, and the First Lady, Amai Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa. The Honorable Vice President and Minister of Health and Child Care, General Retired Dr. Constantino Gouveia Dominic Nyikadzino Chiwenga na Amai. Honorable Vice President and Second Secretary of the ruling party ZANU-PF, Colonel Retired Campbell Dugish Mohadi. The National Chairman of the ruling party ZANU-PF and Minister of Defense and War Veterans Affairs, Comrade Opa Chamuzipange Muchinguri Kashiri. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Advocate Jacob Francis Nzwidamlimo Mudenda. The President of the Senate, Honorable Mebo Memory Chinomona. The Chief Justice, Justice Luke Malawa. Cabinet Ministers here present, members of the Politburo and Central Committee here present, the Chief Secretary in the Office of the President and the Cabinet, Dr. Mishek J.M. Sibanda, the Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Wungwe, Deputy Chief Secretaries here present, the Commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General P.V. Sibanda, our service chiefs, traditional chiefs, members, honorable members of the Diplomatic Corps. Your Excellency, I'm also informed that there's a delegation from the Namibian Correctional Services, led by Deputy Commissioner General Sem Shalulange. I'm also told, Your Excellency, that there's a delegation from the Malawian Defense Force, led by Major General George Dafu Jr. His Worship, the Mayor of the City of Harare, Councillor J. Mafume, veterans of the liberation struggles, families of national heroes and heroines, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. Your Excellency, we are bidding farewell to two gallant sons of the soil, Brigadier General Retired Milton Bekitemba Sizira and Ambassador Joannis Tomana, who both passed on after a short illness. As we bid farewell to the two illustrious sons of the soil, Your Excellency, we have also gathered here to commemorate, honor, and celebrate the lives and deeds of the gallant sons and daughters of Zimbabwe who lie here at this national shrine, at various provincial shrines, and in other countries, Your Excellency, namely Mozambique, Zambia, Tanzania, Angola, and Botswana. As part of today's program, there will also be awards to be conferred to some deserving citizens for their achievements in various spheres. It is now my singular honor and privilege to call upon you, Your Excellency, to address the nation. Your Excellency, sir.
Our Director of Ceremonies, Our Director of Ceremonies, Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Comrade Honorable Kazembe Kazembe, the bereaved family, Amai D. Tomana and the Tomana family, the bereaved family, Amai Nicholas Siziwa and the Siziwa family, our First Lady, Amai Dr. Axela Mnangagwa, the Vice President and the Minister of Health and Child Care, Honorable General Retired Dr. C.G.D.N. Chiwenga and Amai Chiwenga. The Second Secretary and Vice President of ZANU-PF, Colonel Retired Comrade KCD Mohadi, our former Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Joyce Mjuru, the Minister of Defense and the War Veteran Affairs, and the National Chairman of ZANU-PF, Comrade Osizet Mchinguri Kashiri. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Advocate Jacob F. Mudenda, the President of the Senate, Honorable Amai Chinomona, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Justice Malava, members of the Politburo and Central Committee who are here, honorable ministers who are here, members of the leaders of political parties who may be here, the Chief Secretary to the President Cabinet, Dr. Mishek Svanda, Chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ungwe, Commander Defense Forces, General P.V. Svanda, our Service Chiefs, President of the Chiefs Council, Honorable Senator Mchana Kumalo, esteemed traditional leaders, Mazibambo yedu, Kanavari Popano, Dinogreme Gedzai, His Worship the Mayor of Harare, Councillor J. Mafume, families of our heroes and heroines here represented, war veterans, collaborators, ex-detainees, and ex-restrictees. Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps who are here, my fellow Zimbabweans, including those in the diaspora, comrades and friends, today is a unique and a solemn occasion in the history of our motherland, Zimbabwe. On the one hand, we are commemorating the 43rd anniversary of our National Heroes Day. On the other hand, we are laying to rest gallant sons of Zimbabwe. These distinguished patriots and dedicated cadres who contributed immensely to our nation's history. The late Ambassador Advocate Johanne Tomana played an indelible part in the transformative justice system of our country, while the late Brigadier General, retired Milton Bekitemba Siziva, served as a commander in our War of Liberation within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service. Comrade Johan Tomana passed on the 6th of August 2023 at his rural home in Honde Valley after a short illness. He was 56. His passing on is another huge blow to our nation, especially in the diplomatic and the legal fraternity. We grieve over his sad loss. On behalf of the government, our party ZANU-PF, our nation, my family, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to express my sincere condolences to Mrs. Delphine Tomana, the children, and the broader family for this sad loss. The late Ambassador Johan Tomana, who was your son, had a distinguished career as a legal practitioner, Deputy Attorney General in 2006, and Attorney General in 2008, and as the country's first Prosecutor General. Our late national hero played a critical role in shaping the country's legal ethos and the prosecutorial system in our country. Comrade Tomana's redeployment to the DRC as ambassador saw him advance Zimbabwe's engagement and re-engagement policy with singleness of purpose. May you take comfort from the knowledge that your loss is felt by us all. In the late Comrade Tomana, the nation has lost a distinguished, dedicated, and loyal senior civil servant and a lawyer. Like some in the legal fraternity that seek to use the law to confirm and the impossible, to conform the impossible, he did not believe in the use of law for advancement of neoliberal values. Our late national hero was a progressive lawyer who saw law as an instrument of social transformation. He also advanced Zimbabwe's interests on the international stage as ambassador to the DRC. My fellow Zimbabweans, I equally express my heartfelt condolences to Amai Nosipo Siziva and the Siziva family on the passing on of the late Brigadier General retired Milton Bekitemba Siziva, who passed on the 1st of August 2023. The late national hero Brigadier General Siziva, whose Mrenga name was Comrade Jeffrey Machinga, was born on 14 November 1951 in Matabeleland, South Province. He did his primary and secondary education in Matobo District. As with most of the youth of his time, he could not accept life under the brutal, racist colonial regime and proceeded to join the liberation struggle in Zambia. After completing his basic military training in 1977, he was selected to undergo officer cadet training in Kohima Barracks. This was to prepare him for command and other duties and the prosecution of our armed liberation struggle. Upon completion of training, he served as a detachment commander and later chief of personnel in Zipra. He was later reassigned to Bahema camp and given special assignment of training regular military units. At independence in 1980, the late national hero was attested into the Zimbabwe National Army. He held several appointments in command and support services and rose through the ranks to become Brigadier General in 2002. During his service in the Army, the general officer attended and completed various courses which were commensurate with his rank. He was accorded several awards and medals, including the Grand Commander of the Zimbabwe Order of Merit for his eminent achievements and distinguished service to his motherland. My fellow citizens, it is most befitting that these cadres are being intend on this sacred day where we remember our heroes and heroines under the theme, remembering our heroes and heroines, nyika inovakwa nevene vayo, ilizwe lakiwa ngavanikazi valo. This year's commemorations and the interment of our gallant national heroes are being held only 9 days before our country goes to the harmonized general elections. I congratulate all the people of Zimbabwe for an unprecedented, peaceful, and tranquil election season. Makorokoto, Zimbabwe. Amhlope, Zimbabwe, congratulations. This is the unity, the peace, and the harmony that the heroes we are remembering today, including the late Comrade Tomana and Comrade Siziva, would have wanted to see in their motherland. Our heroes fought for our independence, our sovereignty, and freedom and democracy as a united people. They knew no tribe, no region, and no clan totem to their honor. Let us recognize that the right to vote and ideals of democracy, universal suffrage, and human rights did not come on a silver platter, but our boys and girls shed their blood for us today to celebrate in independence and democracy. The obligation is on us individually and collectively to say no to violence, no to tribalism, no to regionalism, no to hate speech, and all other divisive tendencies. We say no in our motherland, Zimbabwe. Under ZANU-PF, democratic practices, constitutionalism, good governance, and the rule of law are being entrenched. The late Comrade Tomana and Comrade Siziva played their part in this regard. Comrades and friends, our late national hero, Ambassador Johannes Tomana, was born on 9 September 1967, in Mutasa district in Manicaland province. He grew up in rural colonial Rhodesia. He attended various primary schools in Manicaland and Mashonaland West before enrolling for secondary education at St. Augustine Mission in Penalonga, Manicaland province. He successfully completed his ordinary level and advanced levels in 1985 and 1987 respectively, following which he proceeded to start for a Bachelor of Laws degree between 1998 and 1992 at the University of Zimbabwe. The late Advocate Tomana successfully registered as a legal practitioner in March 1993. Thereafter, he studied and completed a master's degree in international law with a Swedish university in 1994. The late Advocate Tomana practiced as a lawyer in various law firms, including as a partner with Muzangaza, Mandaza, and Tomana legal practitioners. He served as a commissioner with the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission from September 2005 to December 2007. Advocate Tomana was appointed Deputy Attorney General responsible for crime, a position which he served with diligence between 2007 and 2008. He was then promoted to Attorney General at the end of 2008 and served up to the end of 2013, when he was subsequently promoted and became Prosecutor General. With the advent of the Second Republic, he was appointed ambassador to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where he pushed forward the national agenda of engagement and re-engagement. Similarly, the late national hero, Comrade Siziva, served as a defense attaché to the Republic of South Africa, where he represented his country with honor and distinction. On retirement, the late national hero availed himself for national duty and joined the Zimbabwe prisons and correctional services as a Deputy Commissioner General, responsible for operations, security, personnel, and training. During his time at the Zimbabwe Prisons Correctional Service, he was instrumental in the transformation and the modernization of this organization. Upon his retirement in 2006, he was appointed as Commissioner of the, Comrades and friends, in honor of the aspirations and hopes of our fallen heroes, who never lived to see a free and independent Zimbabwe, the Second Republic is uplifting the standards of living of every Zimbabwean. No one and no place is being left behind. All the people of our motherland are equal and are important. Under one mass revolutionary party, our partisan PF, we remain a government of the people, by the people, and for the people of our motherland, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe will never, ever be run by a puppet government of our erstwhile oppressors. Never, never, never again. This is a position that the national heroes we are interring today, Comrade Tomana and Comrade Siziva, unapologetically associated with. In the same spirit, the heroes and the heroines we are honoring today played their part and they left us a legacy of resilience and unflinching patriotism to save and protect our motherland. After waging a protracted war for 16 years until independence and freedom and democracy, we, the current generation, shall defend our democracy, our independence, our sovereignty with our blood. 23 years after ruinous sanctions imposed on our country, we will continue to defy all odds as we are transforming our infrastructure as well as industrializing and modernizing our country in spite of these sanctions imposed by the West. This must never be taken lightly. Makorokoto, the people of Zimbabwe, for remaining united under these ruinous sanctions. The people of Zimbabwe, you are all heroes in this ongoing battle against the neo-imperialistic values, who without shame over our country's resources. Victory is our DNA, and victory is certain. In whatever field, sector, or profession, as the people of Zimbabwe, be it here at home or in the diaspora, let us avail ourselves professional skills and capabilities for the mutual and national good of our country. This was a recurring trait of our country's heroes. Our heroes and heroines fought for the establishment of a people-oriented, democratic, just, and a fair constitutional order. Among other aspirations, we shall forever and forever defend our independence and our unity. Throughout their respective journeys and service, our heroes lying here, they remained consistent and persistent. Let us take a leaf from their traits of true patriotism and serve as honest, humble, hard-working, and trustworthy cadres after them. My fellow mourners and countrymen, our departed national heroes, Comrade Tomana and Comrade Ziva, were farmers in their own right. The late Comrade Tomana offered legal advice, particularly during the initial stages of the land reform program. As we lay them to rest, we celebrate that the land our heroes fought for is now productive and they will forever remain united with the people. The land reform is irreversible and is behind us. Those who dream about returning the land to the former colonial settlers are dreaming. ZANU-PF government delivered the land to the people and has seen our country realize household and national food security and sovereignty. And this is now permanent. Zimbabwe says bye-bye, bye-bye to food insecurity. It is befitting honor to the departed heroes that collectively our farmers produced an unprecedented 375,131 metric tons from the 2022 winter wheat season, being the highest produced wheat since 1962, when wheat was first grown in this country. We are forever now self-sufficient in wheat, and in fact, we are now poised to export our wheat. Maize output for the 2022-2023 season exceeded 2 million metric tons. This, coupled with the current expected yields for winter wheat, Zimbabwe ushers in as a net exporter of these two strategic crops, Bakoroko to Amhlope to Zimbabwe and to our farmers. With the current model of our agriculture, we shall again attain basket status in our region. Similarly, production levels of tobacco are record-breaking at 291 million kilograms. This is the highest we have achieved in the tobacco sector. The livestock sector has been resuscitated, while more of our farmers are undertaking farming as a business and diversifying into export and agro-value chains. I want to assure our nation, Zimbabwe, that preparations for the 2023-2024 farming season have commenced earlier than usual, with inputs under the Pfumvudza Itwasa climate-proofed agriculture program now available at the various GMB depots. Mechanization equipment under this program will also be availed to our farmers. Across all our communities, let us work harder and continue preaching productivity under ZANU-PF. We will continue to support you all, the people of Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF has the people at heart. Villagers across the country endured the war of liberation, and we are determined to accelerate development programs that improve their quality of life. Indeed, these everyday heroes bore the brunt of the armed liberation struggle and deserve the honor and dignity of being lifted out of poverty into prosperity under the Second Republic. My fellow countrymen and women, our heroes fought for our land and all that which is under this land. Under the Second Republic, our mining sector has experienced exponential growth with a new range of minerals being exploited. Zimbabwe is on course to surpass the target of US 12 billion by the year end this year. In the energy and the power subsector, the Second Republic has delivered Wange 7 and 8, which is now feeding 635 megawatts into the national grid. I heard some other politician in the country saying he's going to open Wange 7 and 8. Oh, everyone is now enjoying the benefits of improved power supply in Zimbabwe. Comrades and friends, the heroes of the first and second Chumurenga fought in a blood war in the battlefields and delivered the freedom and independence we are enjoying. To leapfrog our country to the next level of development, the onus is on the current generation of our young boys and girls. They are challenged to ride on science and technology, innovation and entrepreneurship, which is being advanced by my government under the Heritage-Based Education 5.0 to realize their full potential as we build our country brick upon brick, stone upon stone, and step by step. Drawing from the lessons from the heroes we are celebrating today, the young people of Zimbabwe are called upon to hold daring and innovative by breaking new ground in science, technology, and industrialization of our motherland, Zimbabwe. Vakai nyika yenyu, vakai nyika yedu, vakai ndimwe bene vayo vakomane vasikana vakuma universities yedu. The opening up of the media sector and the resultant increased access to information come with increased responsibilities and obligations. Our late national hero, Comrade Tomana, was passionate about a media which advances the national interests of our motherland. In his honor, I exhort the fraternity to use the media, arts, sports, and creative industry to promote and protect our Zimbabwean identity, values, and African culture, as well as our Christian-oriented family traditions and norms. The media must never be divisive or used to promote self-hate in our nation. On his part, the late national hero commences his service in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, played a role in ensuring that Zimbabwe Defense Forces continues to be professional and an elite force. Tomorrow we will be honoring our military as we commemorate their 43rd anniversary as our country's strategic institution. Further, his prowess and versatility in training and development saw the capacitation of a new correctional service cadre capable of rehabilitating offenders in a modern criminal justice system. Taking a cue from both departed national heroes, a new patriotic, dedicated, loyal, and hard-working civil service corps must be nurtured to wholeheartedly serve the people of our great country. New heroes within the public service and across the entire economy must arise. Individually and collectively, every job is important and will contribute to the realization of our Vision 2030. The Second Republic is making notable strides to improve the welfare of veterans of the liberation struggle, including their dependents. In this regard, the Heroes Dependence Board is seized with the task of ensuring that the required educational, vocational, and medical courses are attended to without any due delays. The increased investments as well as the participation of involvement of our country within the Committee of Nations stand as a testimony of the success of our engagement and re-engagement policy in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe will continue to be a friend to all and an enemy to none unless a country chooses to be our enemy. My fellow Zimbabweans, our Second Republic recognizes the role played by our nation's sons and daughters across all social, political, and economic fields. Today we shall witness the second honors and awards ceremony. These awards were informed by the deliberate decision by my government to honor inspirational role models, personalities, and organizations who rendered invaluable service to our people and placed Zimbabwe on the international map. To further immortalize the works of the various recipients, a wall of fame will be established as part of the government complex at the new city in Mount Hampden. In conclusion, I once again commend the people of our nation, the Republic of Zimbabwe, for the peace, for the unity, for the love, for the tolerance and harmony we are exhibiting across all corners of our great country. This 43rd National Heroes Day should embolden us all, fellow Zimbabweans, to carry forward the good work started by our forebearers, whose exemplary patriotism and loyalty to our country shall forever remain a beacon of fortitude. As we also inter the late Comrade Johannes Tomana and Brigadier General retired Milton Bektemba Siziva, alongside other heroes and luminaries of our great country at this national shrine, for remembrance and eternal reverence, I say to them, fambai zvakanaka vana vevu, hambani kuhle vantwana vehlabathi, go well, gallant signs of the soil, zororai murugare, magamba edu, lalani ngokutula amaqhawe etu, ngiyabonga. Rest in eternal peace, our dear comrades and national heroes. We shall continue to work hard to defend and prosper what you sacrificed your lives for. With these remarks, I wish the people of our great motherland, Zimbabwe, a peaceful 43rd anniversary of our National Heroes Day and a peaceful, harmonized general elections in 9 days to come, which ZANU-PF is going to Rome to victory. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Yes. Chokwadi mwana wevu akanga azvipira. Nyika yedu yakauya nechimurenga. Chokwadi mwana wevu akanga azvipira. Kukudubura utongi hwekudzvinyirirwa. Kwakatanga mapuma kuchizouyawo magidi. Kukudubura utongi hwekudzvinyirirwa. Kwakatanga mapuma kuchizouyawo magidi. Wanatorangarira magamba. Ambuya nehanda chaminuka sekuru kaguri. Wanatorangarira magamba. Ambuya nehanda chaminuka sekuru kaguri. Mondoro huru dzenyika ino dzakatitsigira kuti tikunde pachimurenga. Mondoro huru dzenyika ino dzakatitsigira kuti tikunde pachimurenga. Unatorangarira vabarere nyatwa iwe. Rega itangwena tinomurembekedza. Unatorangarira vabarere nyatwa iwe. Rega itangwena tinomurembekedza. Unatorangarira vachitepo. Vachitepo vakasunungura nyika. Unatorangarira vachitepo. Vachitepo vakasunungura nyika. Unatorangarira tongogara. Moyo namasuku vakasunungura nyika.
Your Excellency, matenda nyika mukatikorokotedza nerunyararo ruri munyika muno. Kurutoita sekunge kusina election kunyarara kwamakaita. Toda kutenda imi Your Excellency kuti ndimi maita kuti muve nerunyararo. Ngatinyatsotendai His Excellency nerunyararo ruri munyika nekunyatsoombera zvine mutsindo. Your Excellency, since I was born, handisandaona vanhu vakawanda semawandiro avakaita nhasi. Pamanga muchiuya Your Excellency, vanga vachingoimba hanzi baba muri huchi. Asi pane zvazoitika Your Excellency, pamanga mamira pamberi pemasoja enyu apo vachiimba kuti baba muri huchi, pane umwe mudzimai azoshedzera kuti I love you baba. Ndatarisa amai first lady ndaona vachingonyemwerera nekuti vanoziva kuti kumhuri yeZimbabwe muri huchi. Tinotenda nemabasa amuri kutiitira Your Excellency. Your Excellency, it is now time for you to hand over flags to family representatives. Your Excellency, we will start with Amai Sizira, followed by the Tomana family representative. Your Excellency, it is now time for us to take our national heroes to their final resting places. May I therefore request all of us to rise and allow the close family members who were part of the procession to proceed to the respective resting places while we all follow proceedings from where we are. Haipfezve shuwa ndizvozvo. Asi tichazokumbira kana basa rakuitwa kuseri kuti tinyarare tikwanise kuteedza zviri kuitika. Pari zvino itai henyu idhipfe wenyu. Itai. We may be seated.
pamusoro tine mhuri dzese dzataunganira pano pamusoro iyo excellency uye zvino titenderei tienderere mberi nepurogiramu yekuchengetedza mitumbi yevadikani vedu sokuisikhathi sokuthi siphelekezele sizongcwaba amaqhawe ethu. Ngalesi sikhathi ngizacela umfundisi uDr. Doyce ukuthi asiphe umkhuleko. Dr. Doyce, can you lead us in prayer?
Thank you, Senior Chaplain General. I'm going to read two portions of scriptures. The first reading is coming from the book of Psalms 23, verse 1 to 6. The second scripture reading is going to come from 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. It's directed to the two graves that we have today, and I will bless these two graves after the scripture readings. Psalms 23, verse 1 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not fear an evil, for you are with me. Your Lord and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever." My scripture reading, the second one, is coming from 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1 to 2. The Bible says, "For we know that if our earthly house, this tent, is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in heaven. For in this we groan earnestly, desiring to be clothed with our habitation, which is from heaven." The guide namate. Baba wedu makanaka, panguwa ino tinokutendai, tinokuremekedzai Baba wedu. Tasvika panzvimbo ino, nzvimbo yekurindirira ishokudenga, pacharara vana venyu ishokudenga. Zvino Mwari wekudenga tiri kunyengedzera dzimba dzawo idzi dzekurindira kuti ngadzikomborerwe nemi muzita raBaba nereMwanakomana neremweya mutsvene, muzita raJesu Kristu iye akafa akamuka. Amen.
Tinotenda. Thank you very much. At this juncture, I'm going to request that we all stand. We are now going to offer the military honors to our national heroes. 3 volleys will be fired into the air as a way of respect. And so, may I kindly request that we all
tochiteerera